Hello and welcome back to Active Retro. My name is James, and today it's episode 7 of Secondhand Finds. There's only this version today. No long version, no short version, just this version. I know I said that last time, but for real, just this one. Just need to keep on going through these Secondhand Find videos until I finally get caught up with everything. Let's take a look at everything we got here today. This is from, Memorial Day weekend? Mrs. Active Retro and I went to a fancy subdivision sale. Lots of really nice stuff, but unfortunately it's a lot of newer families, so really not a lot of vintage stuff. Some vintage, not a lot, and a lot of it was baby clothes, just something I'm not really in the market for yet. So what we have here is we have a Tails figure from Sonic the Hedgehog 20th anniversary plush figure. It's in nice shape. We also have here a bunch of figures from a 10-cent bin that I kind of rated. Let me zoom in here real quick for you. So we have Mega Man X, a couple of different guys here from Mega Man X. Then we have a bunch of Galactic hero figures. There's Obi-Wan, Darth Maul. There's Anakin and Count Dooku. There's a Groudon figure. So really good 10-cent bin. There's these two figures here. They're Marvel figures, of course, Captain America and the Sentinel. Both have markings on the bottom. Captain America has a snake and the Sentinel has an elephant. They're both marked, Zizzle? They almost look like they're from a tabletop game of some sort, so if you happen to notice or know what these are from, please, if they're from a particular game, let me know. I'd like to know what those are from. They look really cool. They're really nice, but I'd like to know what they're from. We have a Boba Fett, a Tactics figure. We also have a couple Dice figures. You never see Dice figures. These were made by Bandai, early 2000s. That's D-I-C-E. It's some weird acronym. I can't remember what it's called for. I know it's something like... It's kind of like one of those shows like that was like Mask, something that was around a premise that had a fancy acronym, but no one really remembered what it was for. But they're nice figures. I've always found the vehicles, never found the figures before until now. And then we also have a Metabots figure. I believe that was from Bandai as well. So, never seen Metabots. So, cool to find Metabots. Here, this was from a retired teacher, was getting rid of a bunch of her stuff. And so I actually found a pack of Garfield Halloween pencils. These are actually really cool. There isn't all 15 of them in here, unfortunately. There's only 9 of them, but they're really cool. And hopefully you can pick up on some of the artwork that's on these. Let me zoom in for you. But Garfield dressed up as a bunch of different things. These are actually marked 1978. And I know that may not mean that they could be newer than that, but they just kept the 1978 copyright on there because that's whenever it was originally applied. But they're actually in really nice shape. Of course, they're unused, and I thought it was actually just a really cool find. So let's zoom out here real quick. Alright, so in the back here, don't mind the videos, I just have company coming over. Well, my wife does. I just decided to shoot a video while they're over, hiding down in the basement with the cat, because that's a cool thing to do. Here in the back we have a Schleich figure, this Griffin Rider, and let me tell you guys, you may have seen pictures of this guy over on my Instagram, but he is absolutely gorgeous. You really don't hear anyone talk about Schleich, but they should. This figure, hefty figure, just a heavy figure, just beautiful artwork. I mean, really, it really is artwork. It's almost like a sculpture more so. There's really not much articulation, but it's just gorgeous. Just from the detailing, from the wings to the feathers to the talons to the knight, just a beautiful figure. Just the pink detail on this thing. It's really, like I said, it's not much to play with, but it's really just great to look at. I think I paid $5 for this thing, and the woman had a bunch of other figures from that line as well, but I don't know. There's really not much resale value in Schleich figures for whatever reason, just because I don't think they're really that popular with kids, but just a piece to kind of put on my shelf. I was like, yep, that's going on the shelf. So, hashtag going on the shelf. We also have a pair of night vision goggles here. These are Iclops. I mean, when you see a pair of night vision goggles for $2, you just don't pass those up. I always buy night vision goggles. I think they're great, and I think they're really nifty. I always wanted night vision goggles as a kid. Never got them because that kind of stuff didn't really exist. So there you go. Lastly here, this is the little bit of vintage stuff that I found here. It's a stack of comic books. Comic books, really there's not that much worth in them anymore. The ones that you do find, these are all from the 90s. Nothing spectacular. I think I paid $15 for all the comics. There's probably maybe 60, 70 comics here. And the reason I honestly got them was because I just wanted to kind of do something with them with the channel. There's a lot of great ads, a lot of great things like that in there. And so that's what I wanted to do with them. You do have a bunch of stuff from the 90s, like I mentioned. There are a couple copies of Disney Adventures in here, which I was very excited about. But there's some stuff like Marvel Universe, Classic X-Men, that kind of thing. A lot of it are X-Men titles, Marvel titles. There are a couple, there are a couple Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comics in here from Archie Comics. There's also just a ton of those in here as well. So I was excited to see those. There are also a couple Super Nintendo, Super Mario Brothers, Nintendo Comic System. And, you know, the reason why I wanted to get this stack of comic books was these were so... the stack of comic books here, the Marvel ones, they're the definition of what comics were in the 1990s. You know, lenticular covers, it's the giant-sized 100th issue, just really just trying to commercialize things and make all these fancy collector editions. You have the Hulk had killed Wolverine. What if the Hulk had killed Wolverine? It's the 50th issue, spectacular, you know, the raised cover with the hollow foil. And then you have the Uncanny X-Men, just the whole same thing with the lenticular things and the hollow foils, and there's a couple like holographic ones in there too. And that is what the 1990s were as far as comics go. Trying to, you know, really commercialize them and make 50 million different collectible versions of each one. That's what the 90s were. So I thought it was just a neat kind of time capsule of that period of comics. But I think that about does it. Like I said, this is a short version of Secondhand Finds. Not a lot to go over, but we went over it. I hope you thought these were interesting. I did. There's some cool figures. Fun time anytime you can find some old comics. But well, guys, I hope you liked this video. If you're watching this over on Facebook, please check out my YouTube channel, The Active Retro. Got a lot of good stuff over there, not just secondhand find videos, but a bunch of toy reviews and coming soon, food reviews too. Some cool stuff over there that you can check out. If you are on YouTube right now and you like this video, please hit like, and if you like this channel, please hit subscribe. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again soon.